Tech hiring in 2024. What's it looking like this year, and what are some of the strategies that you may want to consider if you're in the tech market and you're looking for a job? Today, we're going to talk about some strategies that you may want to consider as you start your job search, or maybe you're currently in your job search now, that maybe you haven't thought of that will help you find a job in this very competitive landscape. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Howard. I am a recruiter entrepreneur residing in San Francisco, California and Tokyo, where I talk about things related to tech, how to develop yourself personally, as well as finance, things related to your overall professional development. If you'd like to hear about that kind of stuff, don't forget to click and subscribe to get updated on new content. So let's get right into the video. So kind of the situation right now is the tech hiring market is going through a metamorphosis, particularly the FAANG companies or the larger tech companies who are laying off people. Now, that's no bad indication of what's coming right now, but it is an indication of what's happened in the past, in which companies have kind of gone through hiring just too much, and that has to go with wanting to increase their bottom line and wanting to become more profitable. But I think what ended up happening is that companies didn't expect certain things outside the scope of their control, such as the interest rates and other things related to business and economics, that essentially put a damper. So what you had were a lot of these companies were over hiring, and they had to cut simply because the operational budgets didn't support these types of expenses. And some of the first people who were going to cut, or who were cut, were recruiters and HR people. Now, what that means is that had a net effect on people applying to jobs, applicants not even getting responded to, which was a result of the HR and internal recruitment function being seriously cut down and slimmed down, and they just didn't have the support necessary to follow up. And so hiring took a kind of a damper backseat, so to speak, and it just ruined the whole process. Now, I talk about HR and recruiting getting axed, and also the other types of companies that support these function, which is the outside or agency recruiters, were relied less and less upon. If you don't know what agency recruiters are, they're outside companies that clients pay to source and find candidates. Now, with the less reliance on these firms, there was just a net kind of cut down on good talent coming in the pipeline, and the whole process just being effed up. So what does that mean to you specifically now, as you may be considering wanting to get a head up, or you wanted to get a hire, you want to be able to get a job in technology this year? I think some of the best ways to do that is to be constantly aware of what's going on. Now, there are ways to do that, like job boards like LinkedIn, but typically these are kind of antiquated, or the information isn't current, so you're not going to get the most recent and up-to-date information. What I like to use is setting up Google Alerts. Now, Google Alerts is a good way to keep updated on any kind of information. If you're in business looking for a job, you just go to the Google Alerts page, set up alert for the certain criteria that you're interested in, and in this, let's say you're interested in getting a tech job, you could set up alerts saying new tech jobs in 2024, or tech jobs in 2024, who is hiring in 2024. And you can set that alert to be coming into your email on a daily or monthly basis, which is really good because you're always getting new information. You're finding out who is hiring, and then you can get a really quick start on applying for those jobs, which leads into another technique for you job searchers, your tech job searchers out there, which is apply early. No longer is it the case where you can just rely on networking, which is still very important to get you the job or the warm lead into the company. Now, you really do have to apply early, and most of the recent positions that companies are looking for, the ones they really need filled, are on their company website, and you're not going to get that through LinkedIn. So setting up these alerts or following these companies that you're really interested in will give you intel on when to apply and how you should apply. And it's just taking longer. The whole interview process is just taking longer in general. That's leading to my earlier point that I brought up about just the cut in the HR and the companies learning about, overhiring and then learning from these mistakes. But now companies are a lot more cautious in the way they're interviewing. It's just taking a longer time to interview. They're more due diligent. So where it took 2 to 3 weeks or even less to hire people, now it's taking up to a month or 2 months or more to find the right person. So be prepared. It's just taking longer to hire, and you should be prepared for that. So another thing that you should be doing, and another strategy that I encourage you to do, we're living in the age of social media, advocating you go onto Instagram and post pictures and whatever. Do what's relevant to what your purpose is. So if your purpose is to get a job or to find clients, use the networks or that are important. One is LinkedIn, right? So you could post information, PDFs. Perhaps you're doing a project that you're a project manager that you're involved in. Set up a 10-page PowerPoint presentation in which you completed a large project for, let's say, our manufacturer, the steps that you went through, the resources that you had to do, the timeline. Be very detailed. Go to the minutia and explain that, because if you have this, it's going to demonstrate to potential employers the value added that you can bring. So you post that on social media, you post that on whatever channel. You can also you send that as a document to hiring managers pre-interview so they get an idea of the type of work that you've done. It's a great way to kind of pre-qualify and show what you're able to do. In my particular case, I created a weekly newsletter that I publish. It's called the Career Minute, and you can access that on LinkedIn. But as you can see here, it's just this very simple 3 to 5 minute article that people can go through that explains some things that will help them, but also shows my expertise and what I can do. And that's really important. Well, thanks for joining today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and got some good value out of it. Just remember, the tech job market in 2024 is challenging, but there are positions, but the onus is on you to follow certain strategies and think out of the box in order to succeed in this hiring market. Thanks so much for subscribing, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then.